welcome. We are in St. Louis this episode, and with us, we have Hannah, who's with the Children's Hospital here in St. Louis, and then we have Santino Ferrucci. He's the driver of the number 18 Team Sealmaster Indy car. So, Hannah, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how things have been going in St. Louis? And we know we normally come visit you in person. Actually, Santino was there previously, but we're doing things virtual now. So let us know how things are going.
Yeah, so as she mentioned, my name's Hannah. I'm one of the child life specialists here at the hospital. I'm actually the special events coordinator, so I coordinate anytime we have different groups or visitors that want to come into the hospital. And so far, everything's been going really well. We're just kind of adapting to the changes and getting creative to still offer some really cool opportunities for our patients.
Awesome. Well, Santino, thank you so much for joining us today. You've been a multi-visitor with Racing for Kids. Can you tell us about that experience and how, you know, we're changing some things here, but just give us a little insight on your background with Racing for Kids?
No, of course. It's a pleasure to be here virtually. I've been doing a lot of things for Racing for Kids ever since I came into the series in 2018. Started with the actually school visits, and then been very fortunate to go to hospitals and see very many of your patients and touch the lives and get to hang out with them because they all have different unique stories and they're all a great time and they put a smile on our faces. So something I absolutely love to do is come in and say hello, but unfortunately I can't be there in person, but I'm very happy to be here virtually.
Well, we're really excited. And what we're going to do today is we're going to do a Q&A. Hannah and I are going to ask you a bunch of questions that the kids have submitted. And then they'll have some things that they can watch on the Racing for Kids YouTube page for the rest of the year until we can actually get back in person. So I'm going to start it off. We're going to go back and forth. So first off, how old are you?
I am 22 years old.
22.
So yeah, I had my 21st birthday earlier this year, which was pretty awesome. 22nd birthday, 21st birthday last year, 22nd birthday this year, which was very quiet thanks to COVID. It was all of like 6 people, basically my family. So like a lot of people this year celebrating their birthday, it's been very condensed in close quarters.
All right, Hannah, you're up.
All right, how did you learn how to drive a car that fast?
I have been learning, and I still am learning every day. I started racing little go-karts when I was 5, and I eventually moved into the bigger cars, like you see behind Coop, actually, or my Indy car, when I was 2 years ago, when I was 20. So it was very ongoing process, I'll put it that way.
So how many buttons are on the car? And can you tell us maybe what 1 or 2 of the buttons do?
So there are a total of, I want to say 6 buttons on the steering wheel. Now, the 2 most important buttons are going to be a little green button, which is called a push to pass, which gives the car more horsepower to help push or to pass or to defend an oncoming car or a car from behind. And then the next most important button is called a pit lane speed limit or a radio. So the pit lane speed limit, what it does is it limits the car to a set amount of speed when we're coming in for fuel and tires. So it normally holds the car anywhere between 45 miles an hour to 60. And then my favorite button is probably the radio button. So that's the one that we use to communicate with the team, to yell at them and for them to yell back at us. So it's a great experience.
All right, so what's the fastest you have ever gone?
The fastest I've ever been in the Indy car is just over 240 miles an hour. And that would have been at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Whoa.
Wow.
So do you have any pets, Santino?
I have one pet. He's a yellow Labrador retriever. He's about 14 weeks at this point, and he is tiny, a puppy, and a lot of work.
What do you like on your pizza?
pepperoni, and green and red bell peppers.
That's a good one.
Very
What if you had a superpower, what would it be?
superpower. I'd love to be able to fly, just because I think that'd be really cool. No more airports.
No airports.
What is your favorite holiday?
Definitely Christmas. So just because it's like family and all the food and all the sweets, and you're off, so you don't really need to be training, and it's just a really good time.
So we know that you currently live in Florida and you're from Connecticut, but if you could live anywhere, where would you live?
Ooh, that's a good question. If I could live anywhere, I'd probably want to live like in the mountains somewhere in either Colorado or either north, not California, but like north, like up in Washington or something, somewhere like kind of secluded, just because I love being out on a lot of land. There's a lot of things to do. Just unfortunately, travel's not exactly the easiest from those places.
True.
So,
What is your favorite color?
red.
Red.
Love red.
And you got some red in your race car as well?
Yep, so red in the race car. I'm actually wearing my red hat today, funny enough. But yeah, no, it's a fantastic color.
Awesome. So the kids want to know, what were your favorite cartoons or cartoon to watch when you were a kid?
So my two favorite cartoons growing up were Tom and Jerry and SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't think I've missed an episode of either or.
All right, and going off of that, as a kid, what were your favorite toys?
I still have it. This little red car that you sit on and you push with your feet. That was my all-time favorite toy. I was a terror going around the house, pushing myself on the hardwood floors, crashing into everything. I actually have a pretty gnarly scar on my eyebrow from trying to tie a lamp to it, and the lamp fell and hit me, unfortunately. But I still have that car. It's in my room, kind of up on the wall, kind of as a memory.
That's awesome. Well, we've got one last question, and this is the same question that we always end with all of our IndyCar drivers. And this comes from a sweet little 3-year-old, and she wants to know if you're silly.
Am I silly? I like to think I'm silly, but that's an in-person thing, I guess. But I do have a
Awesome. Well, Hannah, thank you so much for having us. We really enjoyed our time with you guys today, and everyone there in St. Louis. And Santino, thanks again for always supporting Racing for Kids. We're looking forward to the day that we can come back and visit you guys virtually or in person. But until then, we'll continue to visit you virtually. So you guys have a great day, and thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much.